I don't think we've seen a player like that, certainly since we've been back in the EFL. I mean, Rob Actor had that ability to get down the wing and get you off your seat, but totally different sort of player, more
And he
pace
wasn't
and
ours,
things.
was he?
No, no, exactly. He was a lone player. You always felt that was always going to come to an end. Never fall in love with a lone player, as everyone always says. But Patrick is a player that can do nothing for 85 minutes and then he pops up with the winning goal. Um, there's times where he looks like he's out the game. Today it was an example of that. Thought, as I said earlier, for an hour didn't do anything. Was well marshalled by an organised side. But that moment where he received the ball further up the pitch and he cut in 1-on-1, great finish as well. And he's got that ability to score from distance, as we saw numerous times last season as well. So no, I think he's brilliant. And I'm glad we managed to keep hold of him in the summer as well. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of big moments that he's going to put to his name for the remainder of this season, all being well.
I hope there are. 6 goals in his last 10 appearances he scored. If you go back to the 3-2 defeat against Harrogate on the 1st of April, he then obviously got a couple against Accrington. There was one at Newport and two in three at the start of this season. So, it's a pretty decent return, isn't it? 6 goals in his last 10 games. And if you extrapolate that a little bit further, he scored one in Andy Crosby's first 6 games in charge, and that came against Bromley. He is someone who seems to be getting, I don't know if better is the right word, but more consistent under Crosby.
Well, yeah, and he's got a manager that really believes in him now. I'm not saying that the previous one didn't. I just think he's probably been used in a better system. At times, I mean, I've never been a fan of him as an out and out wing back. His defensive misdemeanors. There was a few of them last season in terms of tracking back. But I think this manager is pretty unequivocal with the players of what he expects of them. I didn't get that impression last season. It was hapless at times. But I like the way he links up with Christian Dennis. And I know Dennis didn't start today, but when them two seem to have an understanding, and it was quite prevalent last week as well, and it was towards the end of last season. They played together, of course, at Carlisle United, and in the year that they went up. So, um, you know, yeah, when hopefully plenty more to come from this season.
Let's hope there is. He's got a fantastic record when he scores as well, of the impact that that goal has. Tranmere have only lost 2 games in which Amari Patrick has scored. Both of them finished 3-2, bizarrely. One at Rotherham in the EFL Trophy, and obviously the game at Harrogate. But, he scored in the win over Shrewsbury this season. He scored in wins over Newport, Bromley last year as well, Harrogate at home, Bromley away, Carlisle away, Walsall at home. Like, when he scores, Tranmere tend to do well. And as you say, let's hope there's a few more of those goals to come over the course of the next 8 months or so. Who else impressed you today, Craig? We've talked a lot about one man, really, but there are others who deserve shout outs.
Yes, a shout out for me, Nathan Smith, the guy, the defender we brought in from Port Vale. I thought he was solid last week against Shrewsbury, and no nonsense, very very experienced centre half. Again, Gillingham didn't trouble us much at all today, and I thought he marshalled the back line excellently. He comes with a good reputation, a lot of experience, as I mentioned, from Vale. Um, Smallwood in midfield takes control. Don't think he was quite as effective as he was last week. And Kenner next to him again, probably not as good as he was a week ago. But yeah, I think the new signings all look solid. They all look like they've settled in well. And given how many were in the starting lineup last week against Shrewsbury and indeed this week as well, it's exactly the same starting 11. I think we can be pleased with the summer business that's been done so far. There's no one in there you're thinking, well, why have we signed him? He looks way off the pace, so to speak. And again, when I mentioned earlier, Bristow coming off the bench needs to get up to match sharpness, but I thought he did well enough when he come on as well. So it's uh, it's been a solid start, and hopefully we can get something next week at Crawley as well.